Good morning. Let's talk about a number that's hard to ignore. $50 million. That's a life-changing amount of money for anyone. But this isn't a lottery jackpot we're discussing today. This is the reward the United States government has offered for information leading to the arrest or conviction of a sitting head of state. The man at the center of this unprecedented bounty is Nicolás Maduro, the controversial leader of Venezuela. This news sent shockwaves across the globe, raising serious questions about diplomacy, justice, and the future of an entire nation. It's a move that feels more like something out of a Hollywood thriller than a foreign policy announcement, and it has everyone asking the same thing: why? So, who is the man with a $50 million price on his head? Nicolás Maduro's journey to power is quite remarkable. He wasn't born into a political dynasty or educated at elite universities. His early career was far more humble. For years, he worked as a bus driver for the Caracas metro system in Venezuela's capital city. During that time, he became a trade union leader, fighting for the rights of his fellow workers. It was through his union activism that he caught the eye of a rising political firebrand named Hugo Chavez. Maduro became a passionate and loyal supporter of Chavez's socialist movement, a relationship that would eventually change the course of his life and his country. When Hugo Chavez was elected president in 1998, he brought Maduro along with him. Maduro rose quickly through the ranks of the new government. He served as the president of the National Assembly and later as the foreign minister, becoming one of Chavez's most trusted and visible allies on the world stage. When Chavez's health began to fail due to cancer, he made a pivotal decision. In one of his final public addresses, he named Nicolás Maduro as his chosen successor, urging the Venezuelan people to support him if anything were to happen. This endorsement from the charismatic and widely popular Chavez was the key that unlocked the presidency for the former bus driver. After Chavez's death in 2013, Maduro narrowly won a special presidential election, officially taking the reins of power. However, he inherited a country facing immense challenges. Venezuela's economy, which was heavily dependent on its vast oil reserves, was already showing signs of strain. The $50 million bounty isn't just about political disagreement. The United States Department of Justice has unsealed a damning indictment against Maduro and several of his top officials. The central accusation is that they presided over a massive criminal conspiracy. Prosecutors allege that for over 2 decades, Maduro and his inner circle conspired with the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, a guerrilla group known as the FARC, to flood the United States with cocaine. The United States government has labeled this scheme narco-terrorism, claiming that Maduro's government used drug trafficking as a weapon to harm American society while enriching themselves and holding on to power. According to the indictment, the conspiracy worked like this. The FARC would produce cocaine in Colombia and move it into Venezuela with the protection and support of Maduro's government. From there, the drugs were allegedly shipped to Central America and Mexico before ultimately crossing the border into the United States. United States officials claim that Maduro and his associates received millions of dollars in bribes and kickbacks for facilitating this illicit trade. The Justice Department alleges that under his leadership, Venezuela became a safe haven for drug traffickers, transforming parts of the state into a launch pad for shipping hundreds of tons of cocaine to American streets. Beyond the drug charges, the United States has also accused Maduro's government of rampant corruption and money laundering. The indictment paints a picture of a kleptocracy, a government run by officials who use their political power to steal the country's wealth. They allege that Maduro and his allies have plundered billions of dollars from Venezuela's state-owned oil company and other national assets. These are not just political attacks, they are serious criminal charges filed in a United States federal court, which is, honestly, a significant and aggressive step. It is important to note that Maduro and his government have vehemently denied all of these allegations. They call the charges a desperate and baseless act of American imperialism. They argue that the bounty is just another attempt by the United States to orchestrate a coup and overthrow their socialist government in order to seize control of Venezuela's oil reserves, which are the largest in the world. For the millions of people living in Venezuela, this international drama is, well, the backdrop to a daily struggle for survival. The country is in the grip of a profound humanitarian crisis, honestly, one of the worst in modern history outside of a war zone. The economy has been in a state of near-total collapse for years. Hyperinflation has made the national currency, the bolivar, almost worthless. Imagine going to the store and needing a backpack full of cash just to buy a loaf of bread. Savings have been wiped out and salaries can lose their value in a matter of hours. This economic freefall has pushed the vast majority of the population into poverty. The consequences of this collapse are devastating and can be seen everywhere. There are chronic shortages of the most basic necessities. Supermarket shelves are often empty, and people wait in long lines for hours, just hoping to get subsidized food staples like rice, flour, or cooking oil. The healthcare system has crumbled. Hospitals lack basic supplies like antibiotics, surgical gloves, and even running water. Patients are often asked to bring their own medicine and supplies for treatment, if they can even find them. Power outages are a regular occurrence, and access to clean water is a constant challenge for many communities across the country. This crisis has triggered one of the largest mass migrations in the world. Faced with hunger, poverty, and a lack of opportunity, millions of Venezuelans have made the difficult decision to leave their homeland. They have fled to neighboring countries like Colombia, Peru, and Brazil, and many have journeyed even further. These migrants often leave with nothing but the clothes on their backs, creating a massive refugee crisis that has strained resources across the entire region. It's a heartbreaking exodus of teachers, doctors, engineers, and families who simply see no future for themselves or their children in Venezuela. So, how does the U.S. bounty affect the average person? For many, it's just another headline in a long series of political battles that seem, disconnected from their immediate needs. Their focus is on finding their next meal or keeping their family safe. The $50 million bounty has pushed the U.S.-Venezuela relationship into uncharted territory and raises some very big questions about the future. What happens now? The most immediate effect is the further isolation of Nicolás Maduro on the world stage. This action makes it incredibly difficult for other countries to engage with him diplomatically. Any leader or business that deals with Maduro now risks being seen as complicit with an indicted narco-terrorist in the eyes of the United States. This deepens the international divide, with countries like Russia, China, and Cuba continuing to support Maduro, while the U.S. and its allies in Europe and Latin America intensify their efforts to oust him. This move also carries significant risks. Many foreign policy experts worry that backing Maduro into a corner could make the situation even more volatile. A leader with nothing to lose might become more repressive at home and more unpredictable abroad. There is also the concern that this kind of aggressive action could backfire, allowing Maduro to rally nationalist support by painting himself as a victim of American aggression. For the Venezuelan people, the path forward remains uncertain and fraught with difficulty. The fundamental question is whether this external pressure will lead to a positive change or simply more suffering. The hope of many is for a transition to a democratic government that can begin the long and painful process of rebuilding the economy, restoring public services, and healing the country's deep political divisions. This brings us to you. This is a complex issue with no easy answers, and people around the world have very strong opinions about it. Is the U.S. right to take such an aggressive stance against a leader it considers a criminal? Or is this a dangerous overreach of American power that undermines international law? What do you believe is the best path forward for the people of Venezuela? Your perspective is an important part of this ongoing global conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today to unpack this critical story. We encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below and continue the discussion. If you found this analysis helpful, please give this video a like, share it with others, and subscribe for more in-depth news coverage. Thank you for watching.